Back my X fam, another month has arrived with a new chapter of Reincarnation Coliseum. As you can see with my background right here, I changed up a little bit to put the 3 volumes that are out right now of Reincarnation Coliseum. You see the lovely Mary, the glorious Marl, and of course Fine and Alice in the little corner right there. I mean, they're just all great overall. But this is chapter 19 that we're on. And remember last time that Suzu reached her breaking point from Mikagami's taunts, oozing with murderous intent as we move into the new chapter. Speaking of, Suzu, or Rin, stands over the clone she split in two last time. She goes on to crush his face and state that she will kill Mikagami. Musashi wonders how a gentle spirit such as Rin could get so angry and questions what Mikagami could have said to set her off as he continues his battle with Mary. As Mikagami releases the clone, he realizes he succeeded in making Rin angry, but also learns something about the clone's design. When it disappears, memories from that entity is not transferred to the main body. Any clone that is made can act independently and release at will. Adding on to that, the clone can also separate memories and recover by resurrecting. What I think the reading is saying here, and I'm not as fluent as you may think in Japanese, I can put bits and pieces together, so just bear with me here. But I think what the reading is trying to say is that Mikagami can recover from his injuries by creating these clones. Which, that seems pretty true. I mean, you really just use the clones to do what you gotta do anyway. Suddenly, Suzu makes her move by throwing daggers at Mikagami, but he counters with a clone. Mikagami starts to figure out that his last clone saved him due to a condition that was met. He believes the same goes for Suzu. That said, anything related to the clone won't get relayed to the main body. We get some interesting stuff here as Suzu resumes going after him. She starts thinking of what Mikagami is trying to do. If she gets too close, he'll do another suicide attempt with his purgatory flame, then send out clones to accumulate the damage, but that also leaves an opening for her to take. As Suzu summons her clone, so does Mikagami as he uses this moment to taunt her more. This is where he tests his theory of releasing or revealing which is the clone. Using Musashi's name, Mikagami tells Suzu that Musashi doesn't believe in you, he hates you, you are not his number one, etc. to get under her skin. Instead of any of the clones being identified, the original Suzu is revealed through her aura and irritated expression. That's just one condition met, as he believes the next is to match or surpass her in speed. Mikagami and his clone take a stance with their knives as they prepare for the incoming attack. Coliseum announcer believes both individuals are heading into a close quarters combat as they both have piercing weaponry. Both combatants then use instantaneous speed to start. Mikagami then uses backstep combination version 1, then goes up to version 2 to counter Suzu. The clones eventually battle each other with the same moves until all individuals are separated on both ends. The crowd can't believe what's happening as it was so fast that it looked like 10 people were battling it out. Let me say that this widespread illustration right here is one of 3 I will be mentioning in the video. The battle is nearing its climax, and Suzu is wondering how Mikagami is fighting so well while utilizing multiple skills. We all kind of knew Mikagami had a plan or thinks on the fly because he's a gamer from another world in truth. Those who game will adapt to their environment as he just did. By keeping up with her speed, Suzu feels that one final attack will end their match. As he trembles, Suzu sees that Mikagami is watching her movements closely as expected. Mikagami calls both Musashi and Suzu out, then she uses instant sprint Climax to close the gap between them. Mikagami defends with combination version 3, which is like version 2, but this one is continuous as it increases both firepower and speed. Naturally, it puts a heavy strain on the entire body if used. Mary is very familiar with this as she explained that the flames will burn the body, causing it to overheat. The flames we see on Mary right now is the exact result of using version 3. Her brain, deprived of oxygen and vapor, is emitting from all over her body. Even Mary, who is a warrior, could only last for about 5 minutes when experimenting with this technique. The battle between Mikagami and Suzu is decided as both impale each other with their blades. Mikagami stabs her in the throat while Suzu impales him through the heart. This is the second widespread illustration that is both impressive and the decider for the match. Both lay on the ground, unable to move, and realize that their wounds are fatal. In her dying breath, Suzu states that if Mikagami dies, then Musashi will win. Mikagami summons one final clone to head toward Mary before it can disappear. Now, going back to Musashi and Mary's battle, her vision is starting to diminish. She states that there's no way she can continue with her body about to fall apart. her 5 minutes of using that combination 3 is already long gone, and she can no longer hear anything. But as Musashi prepares for his final attack, Mikagami calls out her name loudly, which raises her morale. She ends up being attentive at this point, and just one final push, he launches a Purgatory Flame at Mary. His clone disappears almost immediately after that, and Musashi charges towards her. Mary then uses backstep to absorb the flame, then proceeds to bisect Musashi to end the match. That would give us the third and final widespread illustration. This one in particular is important because most doubted Mary after her loss to Mikagami, but look how far she's come. She's not the bridal warrior for nothing, as she stands as the only survivor of this encounter. And it's crazy because you would not think this is the same person from like those earlier chapters. Like, she was so arrogant and everything, and now look at her. She's actually a decent champion, which is good. The crowd looks on as Mary is declared the victor by the announcer, and Desmos is impressed by Mikagami's will to live. It takes guts to see things through to the end. Unfortunately, with this win, Luna will not be claiming Zayd's seat, and now she owes Desmos money. Luna had already spent her savings and borrowed extra from the black market to get her slaves, which means she's in deeper debt with that loss. She breaks down in tears as the panel switch back to the Coliseum, with Mary standing in the middle realizing it's finally over. As she drops her sword, she declares tearfully that she loves Mikagami, and so the chapter ends. This was a pretty good chapter overall because, like many in the comments in other videos, my homies and whatnot, we all were like, this battle has to end. It's been going on for too long. Like, we got the backstory on Musashi and Suzu, aka Ren, and like we got Luna's backstory. Like, all that just came to like the front at this point. Like, the climax was here, it ended. Now we got to see what's going to happen now, because Luna's not the only one that's gonna be in like some trouble. With her family in debt, there's no telling what they're gonna do with Luna. I mean, yeah, she's 15 years old, but they could probably sell her into like slavery too. Of course, we already know Suzu Musashi, like, something's gonna happen there. I don't know if Mikagami is gonna be the decider on that or what's gonna happen. Suzu's gonna be claimed, no doubt, but it may be Musashi gets claimed too and he gets bought or something like that. We just don't know yet, but we'll find out in, you know, next time, the next chapter and all that. The English version will be out soon. Holla at the homie Dark Assassin over on Discord. Him and the Akatsuki, they do great things all the time. Or you can just wait for it on Manga Dex. That's normally where I like read it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash that like button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below this video. Follow on socials. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more cool things such as this. Until next time, keep grinding, my X fam. I'm out of here.